Hey, it's Alexi, and in this video we'll be taking a look at a new feature that was introduced in a recent beta firmware for the Oxi One MkII. Now the release notes only mention that there is a new page 2 for the Gen feature, but there's no other info. So I have been exploring that and found a few interesting things in there. So we will go into Gen here, and what we can see here is we have now the page button blinking, so we have another page. Page 1 is as it was, but on page 2 we have Euclidean generator 2. So now basically we have two separate Euclidean generators which basically interact with each other through this logic setting here. And we also have a bunch of other settings here. This is a work in progress, so I'm not going to go into all of these, and I haven't even tried them all, and I'm not sure if everything is even working on here. Now what we will focus on in this video is that we'll be using two Euclidean generators to generate interesting rhythmic patterns. Now the new settings that I'll be showing you is basically the Euclidean length, pulse and rotation 2, the logic and the lock setting here. And the lock is very important for this to function as I want it to function. And now what we will do here is generate a basic 4 pulse pattern in a 16 step long pattern. So we get 4 evenly spaced steps here. We'll just press play and nothing terribly interesting. We'll go into page 2 and now we'll turn the Euclidean generator 2 on. Set it to 16 and bring up the pulses. So now they are the same, 16 and 4, 16 and 4. And our logic is AND, so when both Euclidean generator 1 and 2 have a pulse in a particular step, we will get a trigger on the step on the grid here. So quickly about this lock setting, if we have it set to off, we'll turn on the pulse 2 here, set it to 5. Now we have 2 triggers here. We'll go to page 1. The settings for generator 2 are affecting our settings for generator 1, which I do not like. So I will set this to lock rhythm and go back to set our generator 1 to 4 pulses. And now the generator 2 will not affect our settings here. So it is locked. So as you'll notice, we can affect the triggers here by changing the pattern here. So our Euclidean pattern is the same, 16, 4 pulses. So we have pulses here, 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 and here in generator 1. But generator 2 has a different rhythm basically. So we are not getting triggers here because they do not overlap. So the Euclidean pattern generator 1 and 2 do not have pulses in the same place here, but they do here. But if we go to 6 pulses on generator 2, we get pulses here and here. And if we go 7, we get yet another pattern. If we go to 8, then we get the same pattern here. And we go to 9, yet another different pattern, and so on. So you can basically affect the Euclidean pattern by changing one of the Euclidean generators. So that's the AND logic. We'll change to OR logic. So if we press play now, we will get a trigger on the grid here as long as Euclidean generator 1 or 2 or both have a step on the grid. So if we set this to 5, we get a combination of both Euclidean generators, the output from both, or 6. So again, you can make some very interesting patterns here. So that's the OR logic, and then we have exclusive OR. Now this means that if either generator 1 or generator 2 has an active pulse on the grid, we get a trigger here. But if both of them have one or neither of them have one, then we don't get a trigger. So right now this Euclidean generator 2 is cancelling out Euclidean generator 1. But if we rotate this, then we get both outputs here. So 1 is on the steps here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Euclidean generator 2 is on these steps, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we can just rotate this. And change the pulses here. So this is where it's really getting interesting, because we are excluding the steps where both are active and only getting the trigger when one of the patterns has a pulse. So of course what we can do is make these longer, add more steps here, change the logic to OR. Set something like this, and then set our note range and note percentage here. And this way we can generate some really interesting patterns. And we can of course change the logic conditions to create very different patterns again. Okay, add some delay. Turn up the reverb, because of course. And we can of course add some random form here, add some octave randomization. Some retrigger. So just another way to make some very interesting patterns on the Oxi One. I really like these sorts of features, and I wish, or I hope that they will expand on this. I would like to maybe see more logic conditions, or basically a choice to invert either one or two or both. right now I think we're only inverting Euclidean pattern 1. And of course we can still use density control. And change our logic to and then we're getting almost nothing here. Add some pulses, density. Basically, I could just play with this all day. This is a very nice feature. So 3 thumbs up for Oxi for this one. And I hope to see this really be developed into something even more interesting. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate if you would like and or subscribe, and I will see you again soon.